All right, in this video, I want to talk to you about how you should ask for advice. So before we dive on in, as always, my name is Mike Poglese. I'm the co-founder of Automated Coaching Engine, where we partner up with transformational coaches to help them scale their businesses without spending money on platforms like Facebook and Instagram. So, like I said, in this video, I want to talk about how you can ask for advice. Being in the coaching space, working with coaches themselves, I'm constantly in a position where people are asking me for advice. I'm always asking people for advice, but there's a key thing here, and it's a one big thing that a lot of people miss out on. And the biggest thing that I see is people will ask for advice and not fucking take it. And it literally drives me insane. It's like, hey Mike, I have this happening. What would you do? Well, I think I would do this. Like, for a prime example is like, hey Mike, I booked a bunch of calls, but like none of them closed. Now, like usually I'm, 100% closer, and here's me on the other side. That's like, well, I mean, if you booked a bunch of calls and none of them closing, you're not 100% closer. But at the same exact time, let's dissect this and let me give you some real advice. So my advice would be record the calls, send the call recordings to me so that way I can check them out and see if it's a sales problem. If that's not the case, then it's a marketing problem. We need to get better leads on the phone. And the funny thing is people won't take the fucking advice. It blows my mind. They will make excuses or rationalize why it's not a sales problem, or they can't record phone calls or whatever, and just dissect into a problem that it's leads, the leads are shit, this is shit, blah blah blah. And that very might well be the case, but my thing is you came to me, you asked me for advice, I gave you the advice and you didn't take it. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It cracks me up. I mean, I literally don't get it. It's like, thanks for the advice, Mike, but it doesn't work for me. So what else do you got? What other advice do you got? It's like, well, I mean, I just gave you my advice, so I don't have any other advice. That's my advice. You asked for it, I gave it to you, and there it is, and that's it. So when you ask for advice, which you should always ask for advice, it's a great thing to ask people for advice, especially people that are at another level than you are. And it takes a little bit of self-respect to be disciplined enough, I would say, to own up to the fact that you're not a fucking expert and you need to ask for people for advice. So it's a great thing to do. The thing is you need to take the advice. Even if it's something that you don't believe in, fucking prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I always tell people, I told you something, I told you what to do here. Go execute on it and come back to me with the results. Tell me what happened. Did it work? Did it not work? See. The only way we can figure shit out is if we constantly have a feedback loop. But with that feedback loop, if I give you advice, you have to take it, use it. If it doesn't work, it's great. It's narrowing down the list of where we need to execute at. For example, person about the sales situation. I booked 14 calls, none of them closed. I usually close at least 80-90%. And I didn't close anybody. So I think the leads are shit. The leads could be shit, but what about the sales process? How's that going? What's happening on the sales process? Can you record the sales calls so that way we can check out the sales calls, see what's happening there, if there's anything that we can optimize, that we can adjust there? I'm like, no, I'm a great salesperson. That's not the issue. Instead of being closed-minded about it, we become skeptical and record the sales calls, like I said, feedback that I'm giving you into place, prove me wrong. It's not a sales situation. I listen to the sales recordings and everything is amazing, then boom, we know it's not a sales problem. What do we know? Make a quick video today about asking for advice. Like I said, it's a great thing. Everybody should be asking for advice, especially for things that they don't know. Up to it, to an expert, ask an expert, what would you do in this situation? Hey, this is what I'm experiencing. What would you do? But take their feedback and actually implement it and take for actual advice. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next video. Adios.